The National Eucharistic Congress in Indianapolis is roughly 1 year from now, and a new book examines ways to introduce Eucharistic Adoration to children. Jesus and Me by Melissa Kirking offers guidance to young Catholics on how to spend meaningful time with our Lord. It focuses on 4 main types of prayer: adoration, gratitude, contrition, and petition. The book not only reminds children that Jesus wants to talk with them and listen to them, it also tells them ways to do just that. And we are now joined by the author of the book, Melissa Kirking, a mother and former teacher in both Catholic and public schools. Melissa, it's great to be with you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yes, I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Melissa, we've heard a lot about the Eucharistic revival that's happening here in America, spearheaded by our church leaders. And we, of course, want children to understand the beauty of the Eucharist as well. Talk to me about your inspiration to write a book about this, geared towards kids.
So many years ago, when I was teaching as a Catholic school teacher up in Ohio, and our priest at the time asked us to start bringing our children to First Friday Adoration. As a first grade teacher with 32 busy kids, I was like, whoa, are you sure? Are you sure? But we started going, and it was so quickly I realized how meaningful it was for the children and how much they loved it. One time I had one little girl go, Mrs. Kirking, I felt him hug me. And the depth of their feelings and their connection with Jesus really planted a seed deep in my heart to want to bring as many children as I could to know and love Jesus.
Well, and he says, let the little children come to me. Such a beautiful inspiration. Tell me more about the ways in which the book is really interactive, Melissa. I understand it provides a treasure trove of ways for kids to pray and learn to pray.
Right. So there are 80, color-coded prayer opportunities, including those 4 ways you talked about. There's all different ways from, imaginative prayers to where a child can imagine like they're a sponge absorbing Jesus's love, and then dripping it where they go. There's opportunities to write and journal. There's even some things where the children can use their fingers so that they have just a little bit of movement in what they're doing. Sure. Or writing a song for Jesus. What my goal was to give children a spot they were comfortable to begin with, so they didn't have to wonder the why, the how, what am I supposed to do, and allow them that starting point, and then to stretch them into other ways to pray. And it also really does give a nice explanation of what adoration is, what it means, even the things you're supposed to do, like when you enter the chapel and you see Jesus there, that you double genuflect. So it really, I think, gives a nice blueprint for the children, an easy way for them to move forward.
It's so inventive. And Melissa, I'm not a parent, but I can imagine that it's hard to focus your children on prayer, especially in the midst of busy lives. Talk to me about how your book is going to help parents do that and teach kids really about the gift and the miracle of Jesus present with us in adoration.
Right. So, the book compares Jesus as your best friend, your divine friend, as Pope John Paul II said. And he, and so whether we have 5 minutes or 15 minutes or an hour, we would always like to spend that time with our friend. And since Jesus is our friend that desires the best for us, knows what's best, he's there for us at all times. We want to be able to spend that time with Jesus because, just like our earthly friends, if we are spending time with our friends, that's how we get to know them and trust them and become better friends with them, and to draw that connection for children to see that same way. But this is our God that is our friend.
Yes. And we have about a minute left, Melissa. On a personal note, I'm curious, what was your favorite part about writing this book?
Just the imaginative prayers. I loved just to be able to do some of that imagination with the children because that's such a thing. Children are so big on their imagination, to be able to draw those connections for children.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Melissa, for joining us. Before I let you go, where can people go to order the book?
Sure, ascensionpress.com, Jesus and Me. And there is even a free downloadable prayer prompt that people can use with their children about Jesus's love for them as they're waiting for their book to come.
Wonderful. Melissa Kirking, author of Jesus and Me, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.